העניין ליכודי. נתי והורו של הקצין הרעים, ילדים הושקו בכוח, ונכנסו לתוך טרגזים ולבדיעת זעקות שבר שלהם בהרחאה פרעה. כן, למה זה לא שתיים? לא, לא מתו. זעקות. לדעת כל איך נכנסים, איך רוצים, איפה יש חיוב, בג'ורה. ומה הדין שלו? שימו לב, בנימין, איפה בנימין? שאלת שאלה. יהודים עם פאות וזקן, מורדים להם אותו. בא נתי מספריים, או שחצו מספריים, פשוט קורא את זה בפנים.
They would smuggle out narrow people or children outside together from underneath in order to do something and raise
הלכו למשרדים.
שם?
כן.
named it after herself. We declare it being the national cemetery of the state of Israel, and therefore was supposed to be buried. Who is this person? And what is that? The person was born in Budapest, was brought up in Vienna, and was working in Vienna as a young journalist. And he went to Paris to cover the shipping crisis. Wife was also another French officer, Jewish officer, an officer in the French army. So he was was born in Russia, immigrated to the United States, was even a teacher at Milwaukee. And then she immigrated to Israel, and later on joined the kibbutz. And this is a very funny story how she joined the kibbutz. She told the story herself a very short time before she passed away. Like a couple of months before she passed away, she had a TV program, This Is Your Life. On this program she told this story. When she came to Israel, she wanted to join a kibbutz. She was rejected by every kibbutz she wanted to join, and she got the same answer from every kibbutz: we don't need Japs on our ground. Simple as that. So she moved to Tel Aviv, and she lives in Tel Aviv. Among many other schmattes that she brought with her from the States was a gramophone. You know, a gramophone with a handle and a big horn. This happened to be the first gramophone in this country, or at least in Tel Aviv. That's what she said. And she played the gramophone. It became a main attraction in Tel Aviv. And after a while, she got somebody from kibbutz Merchavia, near Afula, where we had lunch yesterday, came to her and told her, look, you want to join our kibbutz? You're welcome. But bring your gramophone with you. And that's how she became a member of this kibbutz. She told the story herself. However, after staying for many years in the kibbutz, she became buried. We know the name, so it's not the unknown soldier. We understand? It's not the unknown soldier. We know the name of the people. We know they were buried, but we don't know where they were buried. So here we have those names. And above, look at the stone. You can see the Star of David carved out of it. level. Look at the stones above the red car, above the Fiat, little Fiat red car. You can see over there at this level above it, big, smooth stones with like a frame around them. Those type of stones, that size, smooth with a frame, are typical Herodian. So this part you can see where it ends. This corner is intact for 2,000 years. The rest were added later on. There is a part over there which was added by Adrian after he conquered the city and destroyed it 175. And the upper part, not the upper, the middle part is a Crusader, 800 years ago. Above it, it's from the 14th century. So here we can see really how Jerusalem was conquered, destroyed, rebuilt, and so on. And everybody is building this mark on the city. We are standing now inside the Armenian quarter. There are 4 different and distinguished quarters in the old city. The Armenian quarter, Christians of course, but the Eastern Church of Armenia. The Christian quarter, mostly inhabited by Greek Orthodox. The Muslim quarter and the Jewish quarter. We are now standing in the Armenian quarter. We'll enter the bazaar, market, enter the bazaar in the Christian quarter, we go to the WhatsApp, we enter again the market, all the way to the
Say hello, everyone.
Hiya, sugar cane.
Come to Florida, they got plenty of sugar cane, don't worry. Plenty.
Thank you.
Oh, this would be nice, Sam. You have my work for places.
وقتلوهم حيث
Hello, gentlemen.
Let's go, we go get lost. Let's stay back, otherwise you never find it. Thanks, Brent.
The Holy Tomb. This is the little hill I pointed out in the miniature city yesterday, if you remember, with the problem with the walls, inside the wall, outside the wall, remember? We talked about it yesterday. Now, first of all, we are going to visit this monastery. There are 2 places inside we are going to visit, but we are going to start with the little room, which is recognized by Christianity, or the majority of it at least, and we know about it inside, as being the place where Jesus was buried. Now we started there because this is the bottleneck of the tours to the old city. It's a little room, you enter one way, you come out the same way, and only 5 people at a time, always a long line. I hope I fit other groups, even so the whole story behind it, how it was discovered, when it was discovered, who discovered it, who built it, when, and all the rest, including information from the New Testament. Please remember, we are going to enter one of the most important shrines in the Christian world. We are going to respect the place accordingly. Meaning, men and women don't hold hands together inside the monastery. No smoking whatsoever. Keep your voice down. You can take pictures all the time, freely, without any problem. Just stay all the time and simplify, please. Okay, all the time people are in the face of simplify themselves now. Make sure that if someone is coming, they should keep, they don't care behind us. Don't move the brain one.
Sorry.
Every center of this first room, you can see a stand with a candle. The top of the stand is covered with a glass. Inside this stand, below the glass, the picture of the soul, stand itself is made of marble. Below the glass, below the candle, there is a glass, and then you can see a stand. This is the New Testament temple. Move a little bit more. Move. Just move a little bit. No, you don't.
Is this Jesus' tomb or that is?
That's right. You're okay now.
Ellie, can you just step back?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So this is the station. Because it's the tomb. Because people are coming in. It would be just a station, it would be there, not all the stations in Bristol all the time. It happened to be a station, it happened to be the tomb, it happened to be a place where tourists are coming. So, well, no, wait. I'll watch you. If you are ready, you can come out.
That's your headquarters.
Now, give me your hand, and keep your head down. And in modern English it will be skull, S-K-U-L-L, skull. So Golgotha Aramaic, Golgolet Hebrew, Calvary Latin, or skull in English. The walls, the New Testament tells us, a hill outside Jerusalem that was called by this name. It's to this place that Jesus is carrying the cross. And he's walking through the streets of Jerusalem that were crowded with people. They were crowded with people because this is Passover, and hundreds of thousands of Jews are coming to Jerusalem for Passover as pilgrims. That's why Jesus is coming. Different events happen to Jesus in this way, and some of them are being recorded in the New Testament. And then the New Testament tells us Jesus walked out of the wall. Was outside the city and reached this place, Golgotha, where he was crucified. After he died on the cross, his body was taken off the cross, washed, cleaned, purified the Jewish way, and then a Jew who lived nearby contributed his tomb for Jesus to be buried. Mind you, we are told that Jesus was actually crucified together with two thieves. There were three crucified together, Jesus and two thieves. And Jesus was buried his tomb of Joseph of Artimea. It was 3 days later that Mary of Magdalena and Mary, the sister of Lazarus, are coming to pay their respects to Jesus. The rolling stone of which I told you was removed. The tomb was found empty. Jesus was resurrected by this time that the two Marys are coming. This is the information we have in the New Testament. How about this place? The New Testament does not give us any directions, any kind of location whatsoever. So how this place was identified, when and by whom? It happened very late, actually not before 345. Something happened at that time, and the Roman Emperor, his name is Constantine. Constantine had a mother by the name of Helena. Helena became Christian. She accepted the Christian religion. She was with time, not immediately, but with time, when Helena influenced her son, the Roman Emperor Constantine, and Constantine becomes Christian. And then Constantine, the Roman Emperor who became Christian, he is ruling, he is enforcing, he is declaring Christianity to be the official religion of the Roman Empire, enforcing it. This is actually the first time in history that Christians, instead of being persecuted like they were up to now, started to persecute other people. 345. It's then, not before, then, that Queen Helena is coming to the Holy Land. Queen Helena is coming to the Holy Land on one purpose, this time that she is coming. And this purpose is to identify locations mentioned in the New Testament in connection to Jesus. Quite naturally, one of the places she would like to identify would be the place where Jesus was crucified. The only problem is that we are talking about 4th century BD. How she's going to identify something that happened like 350 years ago, for example. We know, we have a legend to tell us how she did it. She based her research on another legend from the 2nd century. In the year 135, the Roman Emperor Adrian, and we mentioned his name before, Adrian crushed the Jewish Bar Kokhba revolt and razed Jerusalem. This legend is telling us that this Adrian, 135, wanted to desecrate the site where Jesus was crucified and buried. In order to desecrate the place, he built on the same site a Roman temple, which he dedicated to Venus. Adrian built many dozens of Roman temples all over Ilia Capitolina, that's how we named Jerusalem, remember? And one of them he dedicated to Venus, the one he wanted to desecrate with the site of Jesus' burial. Now, over 200 years later, when Helena, 345, is coming to Jerusalem, she wants to find this temple of Venus, because if she finds that, according to the first legend, she would know where was the tomb of Jesus. You are with me? The only problem again here, that during these 200 years, Jerusalem was destroyed and rebuilt a few times, and everything was in ruins. So she is doing research. You may refer to it as archaeological excavations if you like. She wanted to know where was this temple of Venus. She came to this place eventually, and she discovered here the ruins of a Roman temple. How would she know if this is the temple of Venus? Maybe it's any other temple. She excavated the place. She started to excavate this hill. And according to the Christian legend, she discovered, Queen Helena discovered here 3 crosses. Remember, Jesus was crucified with another 2 thieves at the same time. So that could be the 3 crosses mentioned in the New Testament. On the other hand, that could be any other 3 crosses. How would she know? We are told that she brought to this place a crowd of sick, invalid people, asking them to walk from one cross to another to pray, and to kiss each of the crosses in its turn. When they did so, when all of them prayed and kissed one cross out of the 3, they were cured. And that's how she knew this must be the cross of Jesus. That's how Queen Helena identified this spot. It was with Elena and her son Constantine, of course, who built here the very first church. So the very first church was built here between 345 and 350. That was the first church that was built here. At the year 614, the Persians invaded Israel and they destroyed every synagogue and every church. 20 years later, the Christian Byzantines, in a counterattack, are defeating the Persians and pushing them out of the country. And the second church, the Byzantine church, was built on the same site. Not for too long. Beginning of the 8th century, the Arab Muslims conquered this country, and now they are destroying the second Byzantine church. A few hundred years it's destroyed. At the year 1099, the Crusaders conquered Jerusalem and established their kingdom in Jerusalem. And they built the third church. We are inside this Crusader church, because the Crusader church was never destroyed. It was damaged, but never destroyed. It was damaged, for example, in the year 1187, when the Arabs conquered Jerusalem from the Crusaders. They damaged the church, but not destroying it completely. In the 14th century, it was rebuilt again, and since then it's been maintained. So you may look around and think of this building as being mostly Crusaders. There's a lot of things that were added during the time, of course, preparing for the war. The end of the sidewalk is a line of colors. Full line, long of colors. The colors support the city. If you look at the colors, look at the original colors. On top of the colors, you see the original capitals. On top of the capitals there, you can see like the wood, ceiling made of wood. This wood is new, constructed by Asst, to show you the kind of the roof that we create.
Am I sit on here?
We enter those cities by the Jaffa Gate, entering right to the Armenian border. From there we go to the south, to the Christian border, and the road to we walk along together the water, down to the border, and the Christian border. Now we go down to the lower part of it, we are facing Mount Moriah. The big wall that you see in this corner is the western retaining wall. Each one, the list belongs to one of these three places. We go and play this place. What to tell you about the custom that we have here? A custom to put notes, petals, in the wall, among the stones. You can write on those notes whatever you want. Like asking God to provide a nice Jewish doctor for his daughter, if you're Jewish. If you're Muslim, maybe you ask God to provide your daughter with a nice ship, with oil field, or whatever. Now no matter what you ask, do yourself and me a favor, and have one short sentence asking for peace.
I never smile. That's it. You're up. Amen.
Da bak sana şekalı var. Bir de çıktı. Ya o zakı kaynı nidi şekilde çıkaramayı da koydu. Sen gavunuz mu sen? Kaynı da o yüzden kaynı çıkaramayı da
הוא יברך את תלמיד הנעים,
ירון
יעקב בן מאיר, השם ישמרו וחיו, ייתן לו בצרפת כל מעשה ידיו, ויזכו אל כל מעשים טובים. השם צדקה לכל מצווה, כך יזכה לחופה, לתורה, מעשים טובים. חיי אביו, חיי אמו, חיי משפחתו, חיי סבא והסבתו, הסבים והסבתות, חיי כל הילדים והקרובים, כל מי שבא לכבודו, כל משפחת המרבר, השם ישמרו וחיו, ייתן לו בצרפת, שלא סוכל לטובה. בן יהיה רצון, בן אומן, אמן.
יחדיך אדוני אלוהינו בביתך עוד לא עשה לרשם שקראנו השכם שאדוני אלוהיו תהילת אדוני חלופי קראנו אדוני אלוהינו לעונג לכבודך יגידו אגב תיבות ואיך ירדתי בך ידעו החיסון חייבנו עכשיו יחשבו מעטה ואיך ירדתי בך ויאמינו במושלו עד ישוב מושלו מישראל ונשיר עבדות לאדוני ויום אשיר אדוני יאהבה שוד רוחמו רמה יאהבי וגילשה אלוהי אבינו ממנו אדוני מלחמה אדוני שמו מרכבות פרעו בחילו ירה וים ומרחש אלישע תובלעו דיין ליומות יחסיומו ירדו מבזולות כמואבים ימין אדוני שתריב הכוח ימין אדוני
Mazel tov. שלום.
איפה ניסה אנחנו באיזה ערב?
قبورا بهو إلي بحيقو ألي بسور حبلي بيوم سارا بهو نشي وما نسي من أسكتي بيوم إكرا بهو روفي بهو مرفي بهو خوفي بهو علما وبيده أفكر روحي بعيد إنسان بأعيرا بعيم روحي بياتي أدوني لي بلوئيرا بمقدس تكل نفسي أي في حينه يفرح مهيرا بأدنى سير ببيت قدسي آمين آمين سمع نورا بأدنى سير ببيت قدسي آمين آمين سمع نورا بشمع نور شالوم هللويا كل إسرائيل يا شالوم يا شالوم هللويا كل إسرائيل يا شالوم شالوم هللويا كل إسرائيل يا شالوم يا شالوم
¿Tiene todo?
What is this when I get home? What is this?
That's the Great Mosque. The Dome of the Rock is the greatest mosque in the world.
The second. The second.
Second?
This is in Mecca.
Mecca, right.
This is their second. You got to take your food out. So, I guess.
They want these lumberjack shoes?
Papa shown in Mecca is only more sacred for the Muslims.
גם הייתה דוחה,
רגע, אפשר לגור.
בר מצווה בוי! מזל טוב!
בבקשה. קח מה שאתה רוצה עוד.
מה שאתה צריך, אוכל. תשתה גם כן.
Herod built a monument here in honor to King David, and after it was destroyed and the Jewish people were scattered and not allowed to enter Jerusalem, people started to associate this monument of King David as his tomb. But I'm telling you, like I said, I did already, he was not buried here. The building itself is a Crusader one, because later on, during late Byzantine time, this place was identified by Christianity as being the upper room, the synaculum, the room of Last Supper, which is above the ceiling, and we are going there next. That's why the Crusaders built this building. So we are standing actually in the Crusader building, and the tomb itself in front of you is a Crusader one. Now below it there is a big cave, which is because it's above the roof of King David. The original name in Latin is synaculum, and synaculum means dining room. The other name in English is the room of Last Supper. What is this room? The New Testament, and again I give you information from the New Testament. The New Testament tells us that when Jesus came to Jerusalem at the eve of Passover, upon arriving to Jerusalem, his disciples are asking him where we are going to celebrate this evening. Actually, they are saying where we are going to be this evening. You read the New Testament and you don't know Judaism and you don't understand what the hell you are reading. One thing you must understand, the roots of Christianity are in Judaism. A Christian who knows only the New Testament doesn't know Christianity. That's simple. This is a good example. Why the disciples were asking on this occasion where we are going to be tonight? Never! There is such a question asked. Why on this occasion? Because this is the eve of Passover. And the Jewish people are having a big event on this evening. They are celebrating the Seder to the memory of the Exodus from Egypt. And the Jewish people will sit down the whole night and will read the Haggadah, the book telling us about the Exodus from Egypt. During this evening, while reading the Haggadah, at the very middle of it, they are having a big dinner. And they are drinking wine. And the biggest honor is to have guests, even today. And there is a prayer in Aramaic to say, everybody in please join us and eat with us. And that's why the disciples asked Jesus what they are going to do this evening. It's the Seder. Unthinkable that the Jew wouldn't celebrate. And Jesus answers them, don't worry, somebody will invite us, because it's an honor to have guests. Indeed, we are told in the New Testament that they were invited to celebrate the Seder with the Jewish family. It was during this night that Jesus gave them the very famous speech, and during which he compared bread to flesh and wine to blood. It was at this evening when he was with his disciples that Judah, one of his disciples, betrayed him to the Sanhedrin, the high court of Jewish law, while Jesus was leaving this place to go where he was staying, he was captured by the Sanhedrin, and the Sanhedrin handed him over to the Roman, to Pontius Pilate, who condemned him to death. And we know the rest of it from the Holy Sepulchre. So this is the source why the Jews were blamed for the killing, the death of Jesus. But every Christian will tell you that the Jews killed Jesus doesn't know his religion, because the New Testament says that it was done by the Romans. The Roman Pontius Pilate, the governor, condemned Jesus to death, and the Romans crucified him. The Jews could be blamed for only betraying Jesus, but nothing more than...
Oh, whose birthday is it? Oh, how old are you? How old are you? $1.
Yes. It is the first camera. Please, give me the okay.
I'll get it.
Yes, goodbye.
I'll give you a kick in the ass.
Crazy.
You're right. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Welcome.
Bring your camera up there.
Oh,
Ceux qui ont vu et peuvent ressortir par la gauche, ressortiront.
Un arceau, oui. C'est là où il y a l'eau. Hein? C'est ça. L'endroit où était la flèche. Là-bas. Non, c'est là-bas qu'elle a accouché la flèche. Ah, la flèche est ici. Et l'eau qui avait l'enfant Jésus.
Ceux qui ont fini et qui ont vu les trois places, essaient de ressortir par la gauche.
Yeah, I'm going to take the camera. Here, here. It's on right now. Here, take it. Shoot. Shoot what?
I can find you, I'll shoot.
Hey! It's on, it's on. Keep the camera pointed at me. It's on right now.
It's on? Oh, okay.
There you go. Give me that face. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that pose.
Total smile. Say cheese.
Where's the peanuts?
You're going to sit on it sideways?
Can you see?
I see, yeah.
Are you going to ride, are you?
I'm
Hope he doesn't come near me.
Oh, I don't want
Is it okay? This is a cutter.
Faster. Goodbye now.
I can't move, so I come back to the camera. When I'm we're doing it together. Hopefully it'll come out.
Before Brad, Karen. Before Brad.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
After Brad, it breaks. Come on, Karen.
Get on!
Shut it off, Stuart.
I don't want to be the only one not going on.
I hope it came out.
What are you, crazy?
I don't think I'll
Camel will die.
Wait.
هناك الشرطة جمال يشوف ابوك جمال يوسف جمال جمال يوسف ايوه جمال يا خالد والله
wound up killing all their women and children and themselves, rather than be taken alive.
Turn around to me, all the way. Face me like I'm facing you. Action. Turn around. They'll see the mountain. Believe me, the mountain will show up better than you.
I know. Anything to show up.
See, as you get back. Otherwise, nothing to come. Shoot, we want to see you. Look.
I think it's too far, but all right.
This will be a good picture.
Not only that, 2 weeks before everything was destroyed in a typhoon, except that.
They'll give me a complex.
We're taking first class.
Oh, you could have jogged them.
Tell us about it, Lenore, so I can hear you.
I never go on a ride to Playland or, you know, any of those amusement parks.
Okay. Thank you.
What do you mean, oh my God? Oh my God.
Ready for another one?
Wow, look at that old city down there.
Eileen, you want to narrate for me? Irving, where's that way now? Oh. Irving, you want to do the narration? Who's it?
On your right. On your right.
And on your left,
you got Irving.
You have small mouth.
Oh, I should have my head.
With gullies, valleys,
And a little yum.
and you see. That's it because
Is that tight bunkus? Is that what it's called?
yeah, maybe a charcoal bunkus.
I'll wait till we get all the way up to get a nice picture.
I'd say wait till you get all the way up.
I'm trying to find a better one.
My kids, when they would get some kids, go walk. From the bottom?
Yep. Okay, get in there, get a wide angle, get a wide angle.
Oh, I missed. I should have smelled.
Yeah.
No, that's all right. You're fired.
There's a beautiful ravine to the right. I should have taken the ravine.
And if you just put your arm down just 1 second, so I can get out that way.
You got it.
Okay, we're stuck here for a week.
Stop. Don't say that.
You know what happened? They just went on strike.
Shut up.
Irving, the strike started.
I'm here. You don't say that when I'm here. Are we there yet?
They should have given them the damn 4%.
What was it?
Park yet.
Take some pictures from my I'm going to save it. Take some pictures from my
Oh, that's it. That was definitely the strike.
No, the airplane landed smoother than that.
Now I can...
I don't know.
Are you going to buy car quickly, please?
Just make sure you got the cigar ready.
I can smell it on the camera.
Get your watch.
Eileen, it's a good thing you didn't wear a skirt. Turn around and smile.
Smile.
Say your favorite words.
Hello, Stuart.
Here from Jerusalem, a drive of just about an hour and a half one way, just to visit this place, because Masada, and that's the Hebrew pronunciation, Masada, because Masada is not just the name of a place, it's not just an historical site or an archaeological site, it's by far more than that. For the Jewish people it stands as the highest symbol of liberation and independence. To understand why, we have to go back to the very beginning of this place, which happened some 2,000 years ago. Again, it was our friend Herod the Great who was the first person to appreciate the military possibilities of this lonely rock, because Masada is really like a lonely rock. It's a mountain with sheer cliffs all around. It's 360 degrees. Its top is at sea level and the ground level is 1,200 feet down, and a sheer cliff all the way. It's located at the southern eastern edge of the Dead Sea, overlooking the peninsula which is in front of you. In ancient time, all the attacks on Jerusalem from the east will come below Masada. And that's the military importance of this place. Because in ancient time, the most important thing in every military operation was to secure the supply lines. And that's Masada controlled. The space, or the size actually, the size of Masada on the top is only 20 acres. And it's right here that Herod built a huge, powerful fortress. And he called it the fortress. Masada in Hebrew is fortress in English. Herod built this place not only strong and powerful, but full of luxuries. He built here palaces, swimming pool, public bath houses. He plastered everything with the kind of stucco which was colorful to make everything look like it's made of marble, granite, or even gold. One of the many problems that Herod had to solve would be the water supply of Masada, since annual rainfall here at this place is just about half an inch and not more. There is no springs on top of Masada, so what would Herod do in order to provide water to such a place? Herod built a dam across a dry riverbed, which is a wrong word to use. The word in this part of the world is wadi. In some part in the States, like in the South, you'll call it a wash. That means that the whole year it's dry, but whenever it's raining, not on location, far away on the top of the mountain, this river-like will become powerful and full of water. This is the wash. Herod built a dam on such a wash, only he built it like 1 mile deeper inland. And this is done for what purpose? To gain elevation. He built a dam almost at the same level as the top of Masada. From there he built 2 aqueducts to bring the water to the foot of Masada, and then the water climbed by its own gravitation almost to the very top of Masada, to the same level where it started. The last portion, the water was carried in by forced labor. Herod honeycombed the surface of Masada with huge dark chambers to store water, with water cisterns. And that's how he stored water. He kept this place equipped with weapons, stored it with food, and that's what makes it such a powerful fortress. That's why we say that the body of Masada, the physical shape of Masada, belonged to King Herod the Great. The spirit of Masada, the meaning that it has for us today, this is something that belonged to a different group of people whatsoever. After Herod died, at the year 4 BC, the place was occupied by a small Roman garrison. This was really the situation till the beginning of the revolt, the big Jewish revolt that started at the year 65 AD. The truth is that the Jewish people started a revolt, and the Romans were so surprised. It never crossed their mind that the tiny little nation like Israel will have the chutzpah to start a revolt against the mightiest empire of all time. They were so surprised that they were defeated. The Romans were pushed out of the country. Didn't take them too long to start the counterattack, of course, because they could not afford to lose a country like this, to lose face. That will mean that the whole world will do the same. So the Roman Emperor Vespasianus sent his own son, Titus, at the head of the Roman troops to conquer back Israel. The Roman counterattack started from the north, coming from Syria, and they started to fight first in the Galilee, the northern part of Israel, the Galilee. The Jewish commander in the Galilee was a man called Yosef ben Matityahu, Joseph, son of Matithias. After a couple of years of fights, the Galilee was conquered by the Romans, and then the commander, Joseph, son of Matithias, made a very unusual decision. Instead of fighting to get killed with the rest of his people, he went over to the Roman side. Of course, he was considered a traitor, but with time, this person became the official historian of the Roman Empire. And almost everything that we know, not only about Masada, but the whole Jewish revolt or anything else of his time regarding the Roman Empire, was written by this person, whom probably you know by his Latin name, Josephus Flavius. You are right. Josephus Flavius is this person. Josephus is telling us that after the Romans conquered the Galilee, they marched to Jerusalem and the long siege started. Eventually, it has to happen. Eventually, Jerusalem was conquered by the Romans, and on the 9th day of the Hebrew month Av of the year 70, 5 years after the revolt started, the Romans conquered Jerusalem and destroyed the temple. This is the Tisha B'Av we are mourning up to this day. The Jewish people fought another couple of weeks, and then the official surrender came. The revolt was over. Israel surrounded officially. A small group of people, we estimate to be around 1,000 in number, including men, women, boys and girls, old and young, just about this size of a group, 1,000. They left Jerusalem and went to the Judean desert looking for a place where they would be able to hide from the Romans and to keep on living their own way of life without being captured or bothered by the Romans. Wandering along the Judean desert, they came across Masada. Masada at this time is deserted. Nobody is staying here because the Roman garrison who occupied it left the place, abandoned the place at the beginning of the revolt. They are climbing up, nice and easy, nobody to stop them. They found this fortress full of supply, full of water, food, weapons, everything they need. So they are just moving in and settled down at this place. They settled down in Masada not to fight against the Romans because the revolt is over. They are not fighting, they are not attacking, they are not raiding the Romans. They just hope to live here, to be left alone. But this is precisely what the Romans cannot afford. It's unthinkable for the Romans that the Jewish people would not be punished after such a revolt. So Titus, soon to be the Roman emperor himself, sent his chief of staff, General Silva, at the head of the 10th Roman legion to conquer this nest of rebels. And he gave Silva the order to liquidate this nest of rebels at all costs and without any delay. But it's easier said than done. Silva took his 10th Roman legion, a host of slaves and prisoners, altogether 40,000 people. And 40,000 people are coming to Masada to conquer this 20-acre from a handful of men and women, boys and girls, old and young, altogether just around 1,000. But it's not so simple to liquidate such a place.
Yes.
Not simple at all. Because if you are up here, you can easily defend the place, considering the fact that it's a sheer cliff. The Romans tried to conquer the place and failed. Again and again and again, till they decided they're going to capture the place and they'll start the siege. The Romans started a long siege, during which they built a wall around Masada, at the foot of Masada. A wall to prevent any movement in or out. The truth is, of course, that the Romans were more concerned with moving out than in. Who the hell will move in? The revolt is over. They were very much concerned, the Romans were, that people from the inside will go out and pass the word around. Hey, it's not over, we're still fighting. That's the last thing the Romans wanted to be known. So a wall was built around Masada completely to isolate the place. The Romans built 8 camps to accommodate the 40,000 people, and the long siege started. A siege that lasted 3 years. During these 3 years, the Romans built a ramp, a man-made ramp from the west side of Masada, a ramp up which they pushed an ironclad tower, a battering ram. And they started to batter the walls, to ram the walls, and eventually, of course, you realize that the defenders of Masada, the freedom fighters of Masada, the zealots of Masada, as they are known, would not just stand still and watch them building it. They will raid the Romans, they will destroy the battering ram, and this went on for 3 years till eventually it happened. The Romans managed to push the battering ram, managed to defend it, and managed to destroy the wall. The wall was destroyed, and it was clear this is the end of Masada. During the last night, when it was very clear that with dawn the Roman will enter, the commander of Masada, a person by the name of Yair, rounded up his people and gave them a speech, a long and a complicated speech, and he had to repeat it twice in order for everybody to understand and accept the message of this speech. And if I will try to tell you this message in my own words in one sentence, I really think that the whole speech boils down to one simple message. And that means the message was, in my own word of course, freedom is what was given to us by God, and free we shall die, never to be enslaved to our conquerors. I believe that's the best way to sum it up, and this is really the message that was given to the people by Yair. Freedom is what was given to us by God, and free we shall die, never to be enslaved to our conquerors. Josephus Flavius, that all those 3 years was down at the camps with Silva at his headquarters, is telling us that when the Romans entered this place with dawn, they were shocked, horrified, silenced by what they discovered here. 960 bodies. The defenders of Masada were dead. Now something started which is very, very wrong. And everybody started to talk about the suicide of Masada. Not quite so. It wasn't really suicide. I will try to explain it. And at the beginning probably you will think that is a suicide, but technical difference only. I hope you will understand that it's not quite so, and let me try and explain. Suicide is something which is completely forbidden by the Jewish religion. You wouldn't believe it, but this is the highest crime in Judaism, next to denying God. Not only a Jew is not allowed to commit suicide, he's not allowed to murder too. But listen to that. A Jew who commits suicide, the only way you can punish him is dead already. You wouldn't bury such a Jew in a Jewish cemetery. A Jewish person can murder a person every single day of his life, another person he will kill every day, and eventually he will be buried inside a Jewish cemetery. A Jew that could be all his life a rabbi, and if he'll commit suicide, will be buried out of the cemetery. This is how strict it is. This is how much Judaism wanted to emphasize how much it is forbidden to commit suicide. Because when you come to think of it, what is really committing suicide? It's the easiest, most cowardish, and sometimes selfish way out if you cannot face a problem. You cannot face a problem, you cannot fight with a problem, and the easiest way out is suicide. The most cowardish thing to do. That's why Judaism was so much against it. It's unthinkable that these people, religious Jewish people, will commit suicide. And what they did is something which at the beginning may look like only a technical difference. They decided that every man will kill his own family. Then only men are left. One man will kill another, one man will kill another. At the end, two are left, one will kill, and there's the last one alive. Josephus was telling us that the 10 commanders of Masada drew the lots to decide who is going to be the last one. He's giving us the names. Now, you may think, technical difference? Not quite so. Do you really realize what it means to kill another human? Then let me tell you that even today, at the end of the 20th century, with a submachine gun in your hand, it takes a hell of a long time to kill another human being. You can shoot another person with 20 bullets, and he's still kicking, and it'll take 2 hours before he'll die. Now we are talking 2,000 years ago. What do you think these people had to use? 2 hands, 10 fingers, a stone maybe, a primitive knife made of stone. That's all. You don't think that they'll stab their wife or their children and let them die for 2 hours. They'll have to kill them as quick as possible so they'll suffer less. Now think of a man that is killing his own wife, the mother of his children, with his 2 hands, and it takes time. Please remember, it's only in the movies that it's piff, puff and over. In reality, it takes a hell of a long time to kill another human. So think of a man who is killing the mother of his wife, his own wife, the mother of his children. He's killing it. It takes 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. He's killing her. He knows what he's doing. And he does it. He'll take 1 child and he'll kill his own child. A father killing his own child with his own 2 hands. He's killing him and he knows what he's doing. He's aware of it. I'm killing my own child, and he'll take another one. And another one, and another one, till he'll kill all of his family. He knows what he's doing all the time. It may take hours to do such a thing, and he's doing it. Because this is what he believes in. And the key to understand these people is the fact that the easiest way out is right here, the easiest. What could be easier than to take your family to the edge of this cliff right here? 1 step forward, a sheer drop of 1,200 feet, and it's over. You can hug each other. The father and the mother can hug their own children. 1 step, they'll kiss each other, see you in the next world, say a prayer or whatever, and it's over. The easiest way out. But this is against their religion. It's against their belief. So they would not choose the easy way out. They actually will take the most difficult test any human can think of. This is the kind of people we are dealing with. So all this nonsense about committing suicide Jonestown, Schmonstown, for heaven's sake. It's a different concept altogether, a different concept. That's the kind of people that we are dealing here on top of Masada. And let me tell you that even today, 2,000 years later, when you're coming to this place, Masada is still like an acropolis without a city at its foot, because there was never anything down below. A lonely shrine to the human spirit. The foot of Masada carved in the stone, there is a slogan in Hebrew that says, Masada shenit lo tipol. Masada shall never fall again. And this slogan, Masada shall never fall again, in many ways, many ways became the motto of the State of Israel today. That's why we brought you here, to understand all that. Because if you want to understand Israel today, you have to remember this background. There's no doubt what happened here has its impact on us today. There's no doubt that we do feel deep inside that if we manage to accomplish the impossible, to be the only country in the world that after 2,000 years managed to come back to its homeland and managed to re-establish its state after being scattered all over the world for 2,000 years, executed, persecuted, you name it. If we manage to do that, we are back here. And believe it, we are going to make damn sure that the Masada of Israel shall never fall again. That's the message we get from this place, and everybody who wants to understand modern Israel today has to understand what happened here 2,000 years ago, because the impact is still there. That's why we schlepped you all the way up here. Please note that the walls, even from the outside, were plastered with stucco. Even so, the colors had faded. The colors inside, partly, those who were not destroyed, are as vivid as ever. If it's outside here or on the wall behind you, there's no color to it. It fades. Not the inside. Why? Sun and weather. And you have to understand something else. We are talking about 2,000 years ago. To destroy a house at that time, what would you do? You wouldn't use dynamite because it didn't exist. Dynamite will throw the stones all over the sky. How you think you destroy a building 2,000 years ago? With a battering ram, you ram it. Where would you be standing? Outside the building, because if you will be inside, the roof will come on your head. So you'll be destroying it from the outside inside. That means that all the walls and the ceiling and the roof and everything is inside the building. That means that the lowest part of the walls of the inside will be under the ruins and therefore not exposed to the sun and the weather.
Left is the steam room, the right there's the between the sitting around room.
With the water wasn't very high.
with some sea level.
A little bit of a drown here. We
Well,
go
it
down
ought to
there.
add it up. That's the style.
Are really foundations for an upper deck. You see in front of you. In the wall, in front of you, there are a few holes in the wall. Disregard the upper one. Look at the lowest hole in the wall. Outside was the fire room. Huge stones were hidden there till they were not only red hot but white hot. And then water was poured on them immediately to evaporate, to become steam. There was
Pipes?
Doesn't matter. What you want is the view and the ocean there. Am I correct? Yes. Why?
Voyez ici, vous avez lu Watergate, la force de l'eau. Mais ici, voyez des apertures outside.
from the song, a cup of old Masada.
What's built on top of it was done by the Jews, of course. We don't know exactly what the purpose of this little thing, about the mosaic law. Maybe to store something, that's the way it looks. You have to understand, the place was built by Regt as what? It's a garrison, right? It's a fortress. People, soldiers live here. Soldiers are living where? In a mess hall. They're living where? In barracks. There wasn't built to begin with by Herod living quarter for family. There weren't family units here. But when the Jews moved here, there were families. So they had to adjust the things to what they had. So one family will take one corner, another family will take another building, and they will adjust it to their needs. So this is probably one of those things. Somebody built something, mostly, but nevertheless, it's a big mountain. Okay, this way down.
How conclusion I came to this is covered.
But here you see, we didn't make any
And here you can see above, you know, we rode the runways.
Sitting down. Normally you don't find steps all the way down to a swimming pool. Why here? Because Herod would not just build a swimming pool for the sake of a swimming pool. There was water all over the place. Down at the southern edge, there were agricultural fields. After the water was used all over Masada, they used it to irrigate the fields. Such a big area, 20 acres, and you have water schlepped all over 20 acres, you need some kind of a conduit. How would you call it?
Recreation.
No. Conduit. A reservoir. Some kind of reservoir. High or low, you still can go down and swim. Now, remember, have you seen the Masada serial or whatever, Peter Strauss, Peter O'Toole?
Yeah.
There was a paragraph there where the Jewish defenders wanted to drive the Romans out of their mind. The Romans were short of water, so they were jumping and basing and swimming. This is typical, by the way, what you would call today psychological warfare. Really, does it happen in reality the way it was in the movie? But there was something like that in reality. They built the mountain over there, another mountain, very close to Masada. The mirror may think it's the same mountain like Masada. Actually, there is a canyon. Like you see the people walking over there, behind them, they are at the edge of Masada. Behind them, a deep canyon, 1,200 feet deep, and another mountain. On the right side of the other mountain, maybe you can see some ruins. One of the 8 Roman camps was there. It was from there, this is the only spot from where the Romans were able to absorb, to look at Masada. There was a lookout there, no doubt. And Silva, the Roman general, will go very often.
Go down into the water.
That's your dinner. That's all I'm gonna do. Can I get up? See all those things you can
Why don't you take one of me? Come here. Wipe your hands off the towel first.
wipe everything.
No, you can't because it'll ruin the video. Fred, do you know how to use this thing?
How come it's not going? There it goes.
It'll fade out first.
Alright, I got you.
See if you get some of the background too. Makaya. Hey Eileen, how come there's some warm spots in the water? Okay. That's good.
I just want to wipe my hands up before I grab it. No problem.
I'm gonna go up. I'm hungry.
Where's the? I want to ask you a question. Oh, it's connected here. This is, see on mine, the zoom is right here. Isn't this a zoom?
That's a zoom too, yeah.
I hit it didn't move.
I'm having problems with it. I've been doing it by hand since 3-4 days.
Because I was pushing it to zoom in on you and it didn't go.
That's what I did.
We're not supposed to be acting. We get burned out.
What do you mean?
Watch it.
Yeah, all right.
I feel it. I didn't go away.
Yeah. Is it too early now?
Yeah, they haven't started yet. I think.
4:30. Done it for me.
Ja, dan neemt het aan als zijn kind. Op dat moment dat je het laat lopen. Kijk, dat vind ik ook heel mooi. Ja, maar als een kind dan luistert, denk ik het heel lang. Dan gaat hij weer uit de kerk. Maar dan gaat hij weer uit. De doop is nog bij, hij blijft dan toch een kind van God. En dat is juist te mooi. Ja, maar ze dachten inderdaad, dat is nou wat ik bedoel. Trekt hem dan. Als is het nou helemaal hoog. Ja, dat gaat aan. Oh God, u mag ook niet. Ik denk dat het een beetje dat is mijn vraag. Ze doen dan geen kwaad. Ze doen dan geen kwaad. Ik ben gewoon blij om voor die mensen. Maar dat is morgen voor die mensen. Heerlijke salade. Als ik goed zin heb, lekker. Ja, maar dat doen we niet. Oh ja, dat is nou, ik heb altijd dit. Ze zijn inderdaad goed te zeggen. Dan heb ik altijd een afletje bij. Nou, doe ik dit.
Are you making pita bread? Ah, you're right, I'd buy that.
جيب لنا صورة، جيب لنا واحدة. You're my goodness, my lad. I want to be friends with you. My lad. I want to be friends with you. I can't do it. Let's get it going. And you want to get on the floor? You want to get on the floor? No.
How much you pay for this smile? Oh, it's 1,300. Salam. Yeah, I'm right here.
حلوين كتير. I want to get postcards because they have new pictures.
الشباب ايه من نابلس
عندك مكان يقضيك الكوية كلها.
لك يلا باي باي بك مش المام تكره
ايش اسم وين مكانك Nice and appetizing, yeah?
Hello, hey.
No. No picture, okay.
صور الشيخ من اللحن. هاي الشيخ. ايوه. اول شيء صور. ايوه صور
That tight inside your that's at the sack.
هو على الجبل. اللي بخاف عيش راحوا
Rome here they got cabbage inside the basketball. What? Cabbage over here inside the basketball.
Hello, salam.
not quite as big as one.
There's cabbage over there.
The back one, though.
See the cabbage over there like a basketball?
Well, the way in the back. His father was a broom, had a broom and
my father, for 50 years, was in this kind of business. Yeah, they manufactured food.
He doesn't need any eye protection. Don't bother.
I'm going to sit over there. Up to the right. Up to the right. Yeah, I want to try. I'm going to sit down. Let's sit down over here. Okay. This is a good
Parts of the wall now. No, the whole government.
Oh, really? Oh, they're all the way up. They got a good view. A lot of this was renovated, right?
The top, yeah, the top was renovated.
Watch these steps when you get over here. One step there is to the top. Step, one step.
That's the King David Hotel. Hotel we're staying at. We're walking toward the Western Wall, which is the Wailing Wall, the Jewish quarter. We entered the Jaffa Gate.
Look how they have their little clips around. Like there's a little clip. Yeah, it looks like a little clip.
Oh, the railing.
Railings around. It looks like a little clip.
We'll get a shot.
Oh, be careful.
Where are you going? Stuart, please. We only have 2 more days.
Where are you going? Where are you going? Huh?
wie es packt, this one doesn't go off.
It's not 4 yet, Lenore.
Yeah. I have 2 minutes before.
Right. That's my friend who from Jerusalem, and that's his camel. What's his name?
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
His name is Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Why? Crazy? He's hungry? Oh. Okay, after 6 o'clock afternoon, give me you 3-liter beer. 3-liter beers, okay? You give the kids, hurry, please. One more, please. Well. Okay, thank you very much, thank you. One more kiss? No, it's okay. Oh, no. Why? Michael. Please look here now. Here. Yes, here. It's okay, I'll touch here. Slowly. Why?
Michael's got a big belly. He eats lots of clover.
I can eat.